Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Sanity Check. My name is Seth,
And I'm Camille. Good morning.
and we're here to help you make sure you stay sane. But before we go into everything, I just want to take a moment, if you will, for those of you that know the great Chadwick Boseman just recently passed last night at the age of 43. And ladies and gentlemen, he had colon cancer. And for those that don't know who he is, he played in such roles as Jackie Robinson in the movie 42. Also, the Get On Up biopic about James Brown. He played James Brown, and one of his most famous roles as T'Challa in Black Panther. So, um, I just want to say to those individuals or men out there, please make sure you take care of yourself. And we just want to give just a moment of silence for this brother. He's an outstanding actor, and I feel like I've known him for real, but we just go give a moment of silence. Right. Okay. And then, of course, we wouldn't be who we are without you and also
Yes.
our sponsors, right? So we want to give a special shout out to our sponsor, the Providence Place Home Health. So research has shown that aging people and people with medical conditions and or disabilities stay healthier with social interactions. So the agency, which is Providence Place, helps the community by promoting mental health. It also helps clients transition from living to becoming independent by using independent living training. So, if you can, ladies and gentlemen, if you are interested, give Providence Place Home Health a call. Their number is 314-736-1919. One more time, it's 314-736-1919. Miss Camille, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I just want to say this to, Chadwick Boseman passed away yesterday. And yesterday I found one of my friends told me it was actually Jackie Robinson Day.
It was.
Yes.
Mhm.
And so, I thought that was kind of ironic, but, he was a great person, great man, great actor. When Black Panther came out, he gave us all this sense of hope and, Wakanda forever. And we're going to carry that. So
Still.
I'm grateful for what he's left behind. Sad for his passing, but I'm grateful that we have something to look back on fondly about all of his accomplishments. So,
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say good morning to you. Share. Um, Make sure you are tuning in. And if you are watching this on Facebook, make sure you go to streamyard.com/Facebook so you can be allowed in. And also make sure you check out our platform together, which is at Sanity Check.
Yeah.
Right, KS, right? The extra KS stands for Camille and Seth, right? So make sure you guys go there. We want to say good morning, good morning, good morning. Woo! So how's your weekend going so far?
Weekend so far is good. We had some my dad passed away, my not biological father. I want to clarify that. He's my ex-father-in-law, but who remained very close and lived right down the street from me. So he passed. So we're trying to just kind of honor him this week. And so that's been a little bit hard, but here it is. I woke up another day, have 1,000 reasons to live and to be happy. So here I am.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you comment. Let us know that you are here. It's very important because we got some good stuff to talk about today. And last week, if you joined us, we were dipping and diving into the five love languages. Okay. It was very, I wouldn't say intense, but it was it was very interactive. And
Yes.
so we are kind of staying in that same lane, but we're talking about keeping up with the Joneses. Okay. Keeping Up with the Joneses. Camille, what do you think about Keeping Up with the Joneses?
Keeping Up with the Joneses. So we talked about that comparison last week. Hey, Lily, thank you very much. But we talked about that comparison last week. And it really is Keeping Up with the Joneses. Actually, I had to do some research on Keeping Up with the Joneses, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I found with Keeping Up with the Joneses was that it actually started as a comic strip in 1913, and it was broadcast by 150 newspapers across the nation. And it was telling the story of, like this wife who was always trying to buy all this stuff and do things for her husband, because that's what the Joneses had. Mm-hmm. And then ironically, what I also found out was that it was initially supposed to be Keeping Up with the Smiths. Mm. It was called Keeping Up with the Smiths, but it wasn't as catchy as Keeping Up with the Joneses. And when I think about that, and I see all these hashtag relationship goals as it pertains to people like the Smiths, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, mm-hmm. and then, some things happen and we're like, oh, wait a minute. So with this whole Keeping Up with the Joneses, it's very, very important that we understand that what we see on the surface is not always what goes on in the background. Mm. And we can tear down our own stuff trying to keep up with somebody who's not even keeping up with themselves.
Hey,
so I'm just saying.
And you know what? That's the thing. That's the thing. And we truly do forget about our own backyard because we worried about other people's fertilizer. You see what I'm saying? What they doing? How are they grass getting so green? And so what we do is subconsciously or even consciously, we look at other individuals, and instead of looking at ourselves and the individuals that's with us. So in line with your love languages, mm-hmm. we first of all, again, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what the love languages are, it's the quality time, right? Acts of service, physical touch, excuse me. What is the other
Receiving
one?
Gifts.
Yeah, receiving gifts. Mm-hmm. And then the other one, words of affirmation. So if you aren't cognizant of your own love language, that's one thing. But if you feel as though your spouse or significant other does not understand your love language, but you're looking across the street and say, see, that's what I want. That's what I want. That's a problem in a way, because it's one thing to show an individual, hey, this is how I like to be loved, or this is how I like that, and show them as an example instead of judging and making another individual feel less than.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You get what I mean? So, hey, good morning to everyone that's there. Hey, give us a second. Let us know where you are, where you're waking up from, where you're getting ready to go to sleep or whatever, and you catching a sanity check. We appreciate y'all. What you think about that, Camille?
Hey to Korea out there across the waters. Good morning to everyone. But I think that's so true. What we don't do is, like you said, water our own grass. We're looking at the green grass next door and we don't understand that it's AstroTurf. It's not even real grass. We wonder why it's green all year long, and it's because it's not real. Mm-hmm. And there's this it creates an illusion of someone taking care of their yard when in fact they probably have the brownest thumb in the world. So they had to put down fake turf. And in terms of our relationships, it's the same. What we see on social media, what we see when people go out and they're all lovey-dovey and everything like that, is not always the picture that's going on, the real picture that's going on behind the scenes. I know couples who you would never know that they slept in separate rooms and separate beds at home, and that they had very little physical contact, because when they were out in public, you would see them all wrapped up together and everything like that. And then they go home and it's like, okay, go to your room, do your thing. I don't want to have nothing to do with it. But the perception that they want people to have is more important than really finding out, working on their own relationship, getting to the root of the problem, working on their love languages and loving each other the way that, they want to be loved. And they would rather just put on this facade, and that is exhausting.
Oh yeah,
how exhausting it is to be fake all the time.
See, and you know what? I don't know, because I don't have the energy to be fake. You dig it? It's like
Yeah.
too much ether in this fire. You understand what I'm saying? I can't, I can't deal with the fakeness. But to your point, you're absolutely right. Some people do try their hardest, their damnness to show you what ain't real. But hey, shout out to those
Yeah.
up looking mom over there in Houston. Right on, right on. Oh,
Yes.
word, England. Let's get it. Look at that. Hey, good day. No, that's Australia. I was gonna say good day, mate. Hey, I'm all out of line. Don't worry. I'm just waking up too. Hey, what's going on, King? Right over there in Canada. Yes, Wakanda forever. So you know what, y'all? Check this out. Do y'all know who Rick Springfield is? Anybody?
Naya.
Anybody know who Rick Springfield is? You probably don't.
Wait, no, y'all.
But I would tell you the song he came up with, and I bet you know who he is now. Hey, I wish I had Jesse's girl. Do 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 do. I want a woman like that. Yeah. So, this is the deal. Get out of Jesse's business. You know what I'm saying? Don't wish you had Jesse's girl. You need to wish you had your own girl, someone that can dig you, right? What we do sometimes is we're looking at other individuals and we are low key either A, hating, right? Or B, just straight up envious, but don't know how to communicate. So even though the other couple may be putting off a facade, you need to ask yourself, why do you feel the way that you do about them? You get what I'm saying? So there's a couple of things I found. What we need to do, ladies and gentlemen, is focus first of all on ourselves and then focus on our own relationships instead of being in everybody else's business. And one thing that can help that out is limiting your time on social media. You get what I'm saying? Because individuals do their best to put their quote unquote best life out there, knowing that it's out of line, knowing that it's trash. Come on now. Because if you think about it, social media is the one place you can go to be whoever you want to be. And so when you are out there and you're searching and you're seeing everybody booed up, they going to Jamaica or they going to the Bahamas, it's closed, right? Don't forget they got the Rona out there. Look, them old pictures. You dig it? Right. Hey, you know what I'm saying? So you focus on the wrong thing. And but what will happen is we will start to feel a way, right? And then we'll start looking at our own relationship or our own significant other sideways. Like, well, I want to go to Barbados. Chill out. First of all, you broke.
Exactly.
We don't.
Yes.
Not in that same situation. What do you think, Camille?
I was just about to say that one of the things when it comes to this, in love language and in this keeping up with the Joneses, is that comparison, it really is a thief of joy. I heard a quote one time and it was talking about, or I'm not going to quote it, I'm going to paraphrase it. But basically it was like, chasing happiness, the happiness line. So some people say, oh, I would only be happy if my mate did this. I would only be happy if I had this job. I would only be happy if they loved me like this. I would only be happy if, I went to Jamaica or Barbados or wherever the case is. And every time we get to that line, the happiness line moves back. And we keep chasing it and chasing it and chasing it instead of being content with the gifts and blessings that we have right in front of us. We're always looking at other people as a measuring stick instead of setting our own measuring, line of measure for what happiness is for us based on our current situations and the people that we have. And so, oftentimes that gratitude, what we could, have is gratitude when we start looking at our own lives and say, yes, my spouse is not perfect, but neither am I. Or no, we can't afford it right now. We might need to make some adjustments, but we can get there one day. We start becoming ungrateful. Mm-hmm. We get ungrateful for what we don't have. And we discount all the little good things that they do. Your spouse, and the thing about it is with these love languages, if you don't take the time to understand, you can be giving them the wrong messages or giving them something that they can't receive.
Hey,
And so you wonder why you're not receiving that thing that you want. And so instead of working it, figuring it out, being grateful, giving those compliments. And the thing about love languages is, even if the person doesn't take the test and you don't know exactly what it is, or situationally, right now they might have been a person who likes to receive gifts, but right now I just really need some love, some physical touch. You can utilize all of them and see what works.
that's
Throw
it.
them all out there and let them stick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, throw it
Just
out there.
you can give them a small gift here, a thoughtful gift. You can just say a word here. I appreciate you for doing this, for thinking out. Just touch them, a rub, a back, pat on the back or something. Not like a friend pat, depending on relationship. But just put your hand on the back. Spend some time. How about we just sit here and talk? And even if that means that there's quiet time between us, I'll wait.
Absolutely.
And I have you. So you can utilize all these things to find out what that is. And then if there's a response, then do more of that, but stop being ungrateful, because oftentimes we have so many blessings and people that are, spouses that are great. And like you said, you looking at this and this and that. Now you're looking at your spouse sideways, but you don't understand that other spouse is over there getting beat, getting stabbed. Their finances are in shambles. They don't get the love and affection that they need. There's a lot of, withholding and abuse. You don't see that. All you see is what they want you to see, what they present to you. And we all have a, presentation face or whatever. But in all of that, when we start comparing and trying to keep up with Joneses, we miss the blessings in front of us, and gratitude turns into ungratefulness.
You're right. So, that we have to look at that. We have to look at that and realize where we are in our relationship first. And let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's think about what we do know about the quote unquote Joneses. If there's anything that you see that you like, right? Not necessarily they woman, stay out their woman's business and stay out their man's draw. Okay. But if there's anything that you see that, maybe, how about, first of all, be happy for them. Hey, can you just be happy for other folk, right? If they smiling, regardless if it's fake or not, be happy for them. It's okay. It's all right. And then watch this. Get out your feelings. How about you just ask them?
Yes.
Hey, y'all, I see y'all always smiling. What's so funny? Because I want to smile. We need to smile too. Yeah. You did what I'm saying? But however, now we talked about this a little last week, and I'm going to give y'all a little second. I'm going to say good morning to everyone. Welcome to the Sanity Check. And if this is your first time checking us out, hey, no matter where you are, and just put out where you are and how you're feeling, and good morning to us. We'd love to hear from you. But if you are on Facebook and you want your post to be presented here on StreamYard, make sure you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and also follow and like us at Sanity Checks. Yeah. Okay, Sanity Checks. And we will appreciate that. Right on, right now. Now, if you guys can hear me loud and clear and you're on StreamYard right now, just put in I'm here, just so we know. Okay. But last week we talked about, very briefly, because we were spending some time on the love languages, right on. And you have to realize how your house is built. Now follow me, right? We're doing this, kind of figuratively speaking, but still logic, right? So you are in a position where you're in your relationship, you can afford a certain house. Now, obviously, when you grow in your relationship financially as well, you can have different things in your home, right? You may start off with a shotgun house. Those of y'all from the South, y'all know what that is, right? You open up the front door and back door, you can see right through it. Pow, right? Too easy. Or you shoot a gun and everybody get hit. But nevertheless, you starting your relationship is that way. All right? One bedroom, maybe. Then you grow in a relationship, finances change, opportunities, blessings come pouring down. Now you got a few more rooms, right? On different floors. Okay. But now, see, this is the deal. What you can't do for real is start your relationship look across the street and you see individuals that built up that type of the resilience, right? The communication. They've weathered the storms, if you will. Okay, and so you across the street, like that lady, you know what I'm talking about. You look, you across the street looking and saying, "Yo, I want that house," or you know what? Look how they able to go into those rooms. I want to go into that room, but you look back here, you only got one room. Okay, so check it out now. Now we all grown. We all grown here, right? We early, but we grown. So this we're gonna do. I'm gonna just make sure you follow me. You with your significant other, and y'all getting in the mood right on, and you saying, "Hey, look, the Joneses over there. They getting it in this room." Okay, but your significant other say, "No, my door don't work like that." You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
It can only go out, if you feel me. So you can't introduce things into your relationship based off of other people's relationships and the way that they get it in. If you're following me, if you guys understand what I'm saying, please type in "I can dig it." Okay, and I mean I dig it. I know you can dig it, but you get what I'm saying, because that individual, the individual that you may be with at the time, may feel as though they're inadequate, or feel as though you want them for different reasons.
Absolutely.
See, what you think, Camille?
And that's very, very true. And oftentimes, we try to replicate what we see. And when, talking about whatever, getting it in, and that other person does feel inadequate, or, that they will never be able to reach the expectation that you have. And that was one of my points, is that expectation. We put these unrealistic expectations on our partners when we try to keep up with the Joneses, knowing that my partner is, I expect for him to be able to turn on a lamp that's, 8 feet in the air, but he's only 5 feet tall. You know what I mean? And I'm like, nope, you can't. So-and-so Jones, Mr. Jones over there, he don't use a ladder. I don't want you to use a ladder either. Oh no, he just reaches up there. He don't have to jump like that. And it's like, okay, well, what do you expect from me? Hey. I'm trying to do what I can with what I have.
Listen,
I will never be able to do that. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not able to do that.
I'm not able, and sometimes I just don't want to do it, because that's not who I am. That's not, I ain't built like that.
Look, God only gave me this type of ladder. Okay. Now listen, if I can't reach that light bulb, listen, this is what we're gonna need to do. Okay. If I can't reach that light bulb and it's 15 feet up in there and I can only get 9, let's find other ways to get up there. Can you dig it?
Hey. You know what I mean? That way I ain't gonna hurt myself either. You know what I'm saying?
Hurt myself. I don't want to hurt my back. You see? I want to hurt my back.
I can't deal with you today.
I can't hurt my back trying to reach that damn light bulb. Yes. Hey, how about it? Now listen. You find a way to help me reach that light bulb, or I can find a different house where the light bulb is, where I can reach it. You feel
me? Absolutely.
You feel me?
Yes.
See? Because that's what an individual will do. If you make them feel as though they are inadequate in whatever, based off of your expectations and other people's expectations, right? And you are seeing and you are envious of what this individual can do. And you're dealing with someone that's built this way.
Exactly.
Internally and externally.
Well, that's what they that's what they say. Happiness is an inside job.
Exactly.
Nothing external can make you happy. You have to find what makes you tick. And to Lily's point, that was another thing that I was about to go in, is that really it is not having or wanting. Well, it is sometimes about wanting what other people have, but it is because of a lack. What you're lacking in yourself, or your inadequacies, how you're feeling, and that's why happiness is an inside job. You have to deal with those things, or you'll always be discontent. Yeah. It doesn't matter, if you lack peace in your heart, in your mind, if you lack passion or purpose, or you lack joy, or whatever it is, nothing on the outside can fix that. Doing what the Joneses is going to be a temporary high. And again, you'll go back to chasing that happiness because you think it's an external thing, and it's not. It's an internal thing. an internal job. So happiness is very elusive. That's why I say you got the joy on the inside. There's a difference between happiness and joy. Happiness is really temporary and it's circumstantial. You know what I mean? And joy is that thing that just is inside of you that resonates out.
Yes.
But yes, it is typically a lack. And so nothing that you do externally will fill the void to make you happy. Keeping up with the Joneses. That's why people are like, it's just so exhausting. Now I done went broke. I broke up my relationship, my man. And when you do that too, and you put these expectations on people, it keeps them from being able to be the best self, their best self. So you miss out on the things that they're really, really good at. Mm-hmm. Trying to find something that doesn't even belong in your house. Absolutely. Or trying to make them into something that they will never be. And so all the goodness that they can give you, being who they are, you miss out trying to put them in a box they don't belong in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in and you're just catching this, we're talking about the love languages, but also keeping up with the Joneses. All right. Keeping up with the Joneses. And what they do is not your business. Okay. But anyway, if you're just watching this and you're tuning in from Facebook, no matter where it's being shared at, make sure you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and then follow and like us right there. Sanity Checks, right? The extra KS is for Camille and Seth. All right. But make sure you check us on out. But, and James says,
yes,
you can't be happy in a shelter. You want to be happy in a mansion. You're absolutely right. And so that's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. We have to make sure we're doing what we have to do in our own homes, in our own backyards, and in our own relationships, because relationships are different because we're different. All right. And you might be witnessing the Joneses, since we're talking about other people, in just a good spot. Okay. But that good spot, they had to go through hell to get it. So keep in mind, hopefully y'all can dig this, but don't think that you are exempt from hell. Meaning, don't think that your relationship won't be tested. Because if you go to someone's home, or you're going into, you're just visiting friends or family, like, oh man, they just seem so happy. They just so boo, 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 boo. They may genuinely be, okay? But they just didn't wake up that damn way, right? They listen, it takes some work. Not work, but work. And look, don't get me wrong. Like, for look, there's some beautiful women out there, right? We're just going to be 100. But listen, some of y'all lying. Y'all didn't wake up like that. Okay, I woke up like this. Shut up. No, you didn't. Okay, listen. We know what your breath smell like first thing in the morning. We know what the eye boogers. Come on now, let's keep it real. All right, you're just not gonna roll over and just pop. No, that's not it. So, but sometimes we want to put off that facade. Like, look, it's easy. Look, we like this. This is how we get it. Boo, boo, boo. You may have arrived at that point, but it's not easy. And don't judge your relationship off of other individuals' scores. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not everybody just wake up and then they are right there at 850 credit score. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, what you think it take to get that credit score, even into the mid 700s? Let's be real.
Oh.
Now you're looking at somebody, 800, 850, and you sitting around at like 545, talking about I want that. Really? So are you, okay? And I'm speaking for everyone out there, even myself. Are you where you think you need to be to receive that type of love first? Are you open, and are you giving out that type of vibe that, I deserve that type of love, regardless of what your love languages is? But you looking at other individuals, you need to ask yourself, am I even there to receive that? Or flip it, am I giving that? Mm-hmm. Come in, what you think?
Look, some people, they rather get it at whatever cost it takes and want to pay all of that 30-something% interest rather than sacrifice a little bit, do the work to repair the credit score, to get where you need to be so that your interest can be little to nothing. Some people just don't get it, and it's like, okay, well, I just feel like I want. And we go back to that, when you're talking about spenders and savers in relationships, do you really want it or do you just need it? I mean, do you really need it or do you just want it? Because if you just want it and the time ain't right, there's a price you have to pay for that. And it ain't always a good one. And so there's a deficit that happens. You go in the hole, like you talk about, you want that brand new car. It's a $50,000 car. You make less than $50,000 a year. And then you have a 25% interest rate on there. And then as soon as you drive it off, it depreciates. Is that really what you want to do? Is that really what you want to do? And you're right. You have to do the work to say, okay, I should be. And John Maxwell uses this analogy or says this thing or whatever. It is basically you attract at the level that you are.
Yeah, I'm right.
So if you're a 5, you attract 5s. And then if you do attract somebody, because you done put on all this stuff or whatever, and say he's a 7, 8, 9, whatever it is, you will only be able to stay there temporarily because you'll start sabotaging the relationship because yourself you don't feel like you're at the level where you can maintain that. And so you start pulling back and you start, doing all of these things. There are some people that have gone through some things and there's some traumas that have to be addressed and everything. But for overall, you'll never be able to maintain. And it's the same thing with the Joneses. You'll never be able to maintain if everything ain't right. If your credit ain't right, if your finances ain't right, if your relationship ain't right. It may look good for a minute, but that thing is going to come falling down because there's no foundation.
Absolutely.
So, that's just how it is. Like you said, to your point, you're attracting what you are. Do you have what it takes? Are you giving out that same energy? Are you putting forth that same effort that you want somebody to put forth to you? Or are you just like, oh, well, I just deserve this? What made you deserve that?
Right.
That you were born?
Right.
You're a woman?
Right. And you know what? You're saying something here, saying something so powerful. And ladies and gentlemen, please understand, we are not saying that you're not worth it, because you are for sure worth it. But what we need to make sure we know is our worth. You get what I'm saying? Please. And just because you see someone else that, like using your point earlier, if you're at a 5 and they're a 7, don't assume that they're A, out of your league, or B, that you're not worthy. It takes work. It takes work because what we can do is we can deal with someone and, we love them. Don't get me wrong. We love them, everything about them. Right. But it takes work to deal with them. You get what I mean? So you have to, if you're ready for that next level, and if you did not know how to get there, utilize the help from your significant other to help you elevate. You get what I mean? And to help you love them. So you can ultimately love yourself, but you can love them. Because watch this, you may be looking across the street at somebody else 8, but you got an 8 right there, but you can't even hear them. See?
That part.
Look, you looking over there at their house, and you got one right here. And as a matter of fact, better and bigger. But watch this. You don't know how to use it.
Yeah.
Check this out, y'all. I don't know if y'all can.
Or you got a bunch of rooms you don't walk in, so you don't know what they do. We can't function, all the functions.
You got rooms in your house that don't even got no furniture in it. See, but listen, you got rooms in your house. You're looking at everybody else's house, and you got rooms and things in your home that you don't even know how to work. Right. Hey, so what do you do, ladies and gentlemen? What do you do when you're looking at other individuals like, hey, I want to do that, and I want that. I like what they have. You got the same thing, but you don't know how to use it. You don't know how. Hey, watch this.
You're trying to upgrade, and you don't even know how to use what you got.
Hey, watch this. Hey, yeah, you're trying to upgrade, but you can't. And listen, how can you look at the warmth in someone else's home when you don't even know how to turn on your own heater?
Hello.
Hey, why can't you turn that on over here? Listen, why can't you get this right? You see, because
Just
listen,
'cause you,
this one right here is ready to turn on a prime time on propane. Can you dig it? Ready, but you don't even know how to turn that on.
exactly. You walked in a house and felt the warmth, and you didn't realize somebody had to do the work to turn it on and to prep the house to get it that way for you to walk in. You could do the same thing at your own house, but you don't. And I'll go. I wanna address these two things. King said, a lot of people living in an imaginary world seeing Joneses and think they're looking at a mirror image instead of living in reality and realize that they're looking through a window of a house that took years to build. And I think that was to Seth's point. You don't see what it took to build, those big houses. That person probably had that shotgun house 20 years ago, but they made those sacrifices. They invested in their own relationships. They made good money choices. They decided to go back and get a higher education that afforded them a job or a career or a business or whatever that allowed them to have that house and to build those extra rooms and move into a different neighborhood or whatever. We see the end result, but we don't see all the work that goes into it. And then mom says people who feel compelled to keep up with someone else have a character flaw. They need to look inside and ask themselves what and why, and look to heal that missing place in their growth and development into adulthood. Mm-hmm. And that's so true. But a lot of people don't realize that they have that flaw. All of they know is this is how I feel. Somebody has to expose them to this is a flaw. And there is a way to fix that and heal that. And I don't know if it's just I'm getting older or whatever, but kind of when I see that thing and I'm like, okay, don't take this personal, but you're telling me all this, but this is what I'm hearing. This is what I'm seeing, and it's not what you're trying to tell me on the outside. And they be like, no, you can argue with me all you want to. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you my observations. I can see that what you're telling me is in conflict with how you're really feeling. I can see that, and then I can hear that your words don't match with some things. So maybe you need to look a little bit deeper. And I always, go a little deeper, and you pull out those things. And again, we talk about questioning, but it's the right questions to help them say, maybe I am lacking something. Why is it that I do want all of this stuff that I can't afford? Why do I feel entitled to all of these things that I have not worked for? Why do I expect somebody to just treat me like this and give me everything when I'm not giving anything? And am I being selfish? Am I being, unreasonable based on what I have? And where does that come from? That lack that something I didn't have as a child, or I went from riches to rags, as I used to say it, about my family. Whatever, where I was used to having a certain level of a standard of living that, as a child, I didn't realize that I wasn't paying nothing, contributing nothing, and then when I had to move out on my own, I felt like I still should have done, I'm not talking about me, but, I had that same level, and now I don't have it. And I'm looking for someone else to fill the void because mom and dad gave me everything, and it's that thing. No, you have to work as hard as mom and dad did, or find what you're good at that will make you the money that it takes, to have that standard of living that mom and dad did. And it is a character flaw. We all have them. They can be worked on, but it takes awareness that it is something that we need to work on. And some people don't know that because people aren't honest with them.
And yes, and you're absolutely right. And not only are individuals not being honest with their significant other, they're not being honest with themselves, because, ladies and gentlemen, we have to realize that who we are today is a representation of the things that we went through and did not go through. You understand what I'm saying? Some things we have been protected from, which is good to a degree. And what I mean by that is that I haven't been in any relationship that came with a owner's manual, if you will. So it's a new thing. You understand? It's a new reality check. And I have to know where I am as a man and know where I have come from. It's like the baggage. Y'all remember that song, Bag Lady? You know what I'm saying? Lady. Yeah. Hurt your back. Hey. So that's by Erykah Badu. So check it out if you haven't heard it. But the thing is we cannot expect our significant other to fix our past.
Yes.
Meaning, well, that's what it is. You can't expect them to fix your past, but you have to understand what's broken. And they did not do it. So what I'm trying to say is understand what is broken inside versus looking for someone else to fix what you only have the tools to fix. Right on. You can't expect me that, hey, all I got is a hammer. Okay, all I got is a hammer, but what's broken need a screwdriver. What can I do with this hammer? And then watch this. If I use my tool, it may damage things even worse. You get what I'm saying? So go where you need to go to get that fixed as an adult. If you say, hey, listen, I got daddy issues, I need to work on that. And I can't get with every individual to try to fix my daddy issues. Think about how that sounds when you say it slowly. I have daddy issues or mother issues. I can't go and find the fix outside of me. You see, if you understand that it's inside of you, you have to take that initiative and also be able to articulate what's going on. And the individual that is there with you and love you should be in the place and space to receive you, meaning I'm here to support you, not fix you, because I can't. I'm here to support. What you think, Camille?
Absolutely. Asking the right questions. I know a lot of people, they're like, I can't afford therapy. I can't do this and this and that. But you can get your hair done. You can get your nails done. You can save $100 and something for a visit. I had a conversation the other day, and it was about that. Well, this person owed me. No, I said, in terms of my kids, I will hustle hard for my kids. I'm not expecting anybody to do anything for my children. I will do whatever it takes. And if that took, learning how to braid my own hair or doing my nails or not having anything or not having cable or whatever it was to be able to provide for them and for me, then that's what I was going to do. And the same thing with people that say that, I look at their lives and I'm like, okay, maybe you're not ready. Because if you were ready, you would do whatever it takes. And some people have to hit that rock bottom. And they like, I had to hit rock bottom in order to realize that I was going down a path that I wouldn't get out of. And, what I hate, or not hate, but I want people to realize is you don't have to hit rock bottom. If you recognize it, make small choices. When you even if you talk to a trusted friend, make sure it ain't that ride or die. Make sure it's that person that's going to tell you the truth about you. Because you get some people that just ride on, oh yeah, girl, he shouldn't be doing this. No, you're ratchet. You're wrong. You're disrespectful. You don't do all of these things. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, but as a friend, maybe you need to look at some things. Why are you acting like this? What is the root of that? You know what I mean? Like, why do you feel like you have to just go out and just do all of these things or just be so aggressive about everything? You want to fight everything. I know what my issues are. I'm working on them. But you know what I'm saying?
He ain't down with me yet. He ain't down with me yet.
But yeah, so even if it's a friend, because we have them out there that listen, but we tend to run away from the ones that tell us the truth about who we are, because we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that, but they're giving you good information. And sometimes it takes an outside view, because we don't always see how we're acting because we're looking this way. We don't see all of this.
It's the blinders.
Somebody to tell, yes, our blinders. And we need somebody to tell us, what they see. Maybe some issues to help kind of identify those things so we know where to work. Because, my mom was like this all the time. What doesn't mean your mama was right.
Hey, listen, and not just that. Listen, your mama might have been crazy as cat shit for real. So why are you bringing that here?
Yeah. And then that doesn't fit your current relationship or your current situation or your current children. I could not raise my children the way my mom raised us. And my youngest one is quick to tell me, even when we're talking about loving our kids, I cannot love my child, the youngest one, the way that I love my oldest child. She's like, we're different people, Mom. You can't treat me like you treat her. And she's quick to tell me. And I'm like, you're absolutely right. Because they have different interests. They have different levels of awareness, intelligence. They do things different. One has a different personality. One is not touchy-feely. The other one is like super, super emotional. So when I put that super, or affectionate, I put that super affection on my youngest one. She's like, like, no. And I'm like, oh, my bad. You know what I mean? So we talk and I just, whatever. And if she wants to hug me, I let her, but I cannot do them the same. But we tend to take those things that we already knew and we try to put them and force them on people. And we wonder why those relationships don't work. And we have to find what works for us, whether it's keeping up with the Joneses or in my case, the Stevensons or whatever. I cannot use that same style in my own home. I have to figure out what works for us.
You know what? Yes, you're absolutely right. And I do want to touch on that. Before I do want to give a shout out to everybody that's tuning in that's not on StreamYard. Miss Tamaya, my cousin, how you doing? Foots, what's going on? My old my mother ex-in-law, right? I call her my mother outlaw, right? She's watching what's going on. Kim, hey, Lance, how you doing? Good sir. Pink, how you feeling? Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about 5 love languages and taking it a step further. We're talking about keeping up with the Joneses, okay? And Camille just made a very, very powerful point as far as knowing who you're dealing with and going into different situations, expecting the same thing and doing the same thing. And of course, if this is your first time watching us or catching us, this is the sanity check. One thing that we try to do is to help encourage you not to be insane. What is insane, ladies and gentlemen? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, right on? So what I need you to think about is, what is it that we're doing? Excuse me, what's the yard being cut right now, but what are we doing? What are we doing and what are we giving off? And yes, if an individual know you and you're talking to them about a situation, all right. Now, Camille gave a great example. However, I want to spin it to the point of being this type of friend. Know when an individual is talking to you, just talking, and know when an individual wants your input. Okay, because sometimes you may see everything that is going on wrong that they're talking about, but you have the mirror in your pocket. Okay, hold on to that mirror until they are ready to receive it first. Okay, when they're ready to receive it first. However, be ready to pull it on out when they're about to do something detrimental or just downright stupid. Okay, say, hey, this is what's going on. This is who you are. And of course, be that friend, right? And like we talked about last week, as far as the love languages, words of affirmation. You don't want to just, as soon as someone says something and you know, even encouraging, quote unquote, good news, you're throwing the bad at them. Sit there, listen. Okay, just listen. Now, if it gets to the point where they are out of line, be that friend. Say, hey, friend, hey, friend, you're tripping. Okay, I love you. I love you. And this probably is going to piss you off, but if it pisses you off, you should know that it's coming from a good place. Okay, that means that I care about you. So you're doing A, B, C, and D. So this is why that is happening. You get what I'm saying? So if you're comparing yourself to other individuals and you have an individual that's a trusted individual that can help you see your blind spots, be willing to see what you don't see. Okay, be willing to do that. But it's kind of hard because like James said, he says, look, not everyone ain't everyone ain't lying on you. You get what I'm saying? So hey, let's look at our track record. Let's look at our trends. Okay, and watch this. This is another thing. Don't tell me being your friend, don't tell me what you think I want to hear.
Exactly.
You see, because if you truly want help, or if you truly want a connection or a revelation, if you will, let's talk about the whole damn story. Listen, you won't be the hero in everything. So you really think, come on now, what did you do or what didn't you do that perpetuated that? What you think, Camille?
To that point, I'm big on personal accountability and responsibility. When people they ask me about my failed relationships, there was some things that happened and everything. But for me, I'm like, it was my choice. I made bad choices. And, I have these conversations all the time. We always want to deflect on the other person, completely. Now, there are some things that, yes, it just is. But you also have to take responsibility up for your part, because then you'll continue to do that same thing, like you said, that insanity, because you haven't addressed that issue of what I done, whether it was just I chose the wrong type of people, I wanted that rough neck, because all this and all that, or if I was like, okay, I'm an empath, so I want to fix everybody that's broke, so I attract all of these broken people so that I can put that together, or and it's taking responsibility. What did you do? Like, okay, I know the basis of what happened, but what could you have done differently? What did you allow? What did you not stop? What did you perpetuate? What buttons did you keep pushing?
Mhm.
So I'm huge on personal responsibility. And I'm like, don't tell me about what the other people did. Tell me about what you did. Because this is the part that we can fix. We can't fix that other part, but we can fix you, if that's what you want to do. And here's some things, some tips. And I don't try to like tell people what they should do, but it's those questioning, the line of questioning to help them see, okay, maybe I did do something, and sometimes I just be like, look, I ain't gonna tell you, I ain't gonna lie. What I saw, I was like, oh, you know what I mean? I would never. I said, and I was, I would tell people that, like, I'm even more shocked that it came out of you. I never saw that behind the scenes before, but that is unacceptable. You know what I mean? That is unacceptable for whatever. And people are like, oh, I don't know. Okay, but they keep coming back. You know what I mean? People need to know the truth, and they need to know where to address and where to change. And even though it may not feel good, that kind of resonates, because when somebody says something about you that is true, whether you want to admit it or not, you kind of chew on that for a while. You be like, dang.
Yeah.
But the only person that you can change is you. So that personal responsibility, those friends, stop talking about that other person, what they did. Address the thing that you can fix. That's right. That person. Address what your part in it is. Vow that you're not going to do that anymore, or at least try to do it less often, or whatever the case is, whatever's, going to work or whatever. But we get caught up in that other person. So picking the right people, the right friends is like paramount. You know what I mean? Because we don't want you to do that again and get yourself in the same situations and, things like that. I can tell you my experiences, being married, not being married. So I can give you a single perspective, a married perspective, but it always comes back to me.
That's right. And that's the deal. Right. Because if you keep telling different stories, but everybody else is the problem, start really listening to yourself.
Because like James said, everybody ain't lying on you.
Everybody ain't lying on you. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching this and if you're getting great value from this, just type in I am. Just put I am, right? And that can help us let us know that you're picking up what we're putting down. And also, please share this. Just hit the share button. It only takes 2 seconds to do it. Boom, put it on your page, especially if it's value added. And so what I want to do also is let you guys know that you can call in if you have a statement. All right. The number is 618-792-6747. One more time for those with a broken line. 618-792-6747. We're talking about the 5 love languages and keeping up with the Joneses, because you may have you may have a love language that you don't know how to articulate to your significant other, but you see your neighbor and the benefits of them living in theirs. Okay. If your neighbor or your friends or co-workers, whoever, they're living their best life, and you say, hey, that's my love language too. That's what I want. Understand that not every love language is created equally.
Right.
What I mean is, ladies and gentlemen, you may not be able to take it for real. Like if you really got what you think you wanted, you may not be able to drive it. Right on. So what I'm saying is, like, we tend to look at our neighbors' garages. Okay. Check it out. They got a Ferrari. Okay. But you can't drive a stick. Watch, hey, listen, that Ferrari don't come in automatic. You understand what I'm saying? So what do you think you need to do if that's what you want? You have to diversify your thinking. You see? So if your significant other is a different vehicle, and I promise you, everybody, I'm throwing out these analogies. Hopefully you can dig what I'm trying to say. But if your significant other is a different automobile, how about you learn the ins and outs instead of your car if you will, what you have worked hard to get, instead of compare. Because what are you going to do? Be a hip hopper? You know what I'm saying? And watch this. Stop, stopping and bopping. You see, because you're not feeling it. So you need to ask yourself, what is it about me that I feel inadequate? Why is it that as soon as I get this Ferrari, now I want a Lincoln Continental? Okay, now you got your Lincoln Continental. Hey, watch this. Now that's too old.
Yes.
You see, now I want a damn what you call it, a Porsche. Hold on, that one's too fast. Too fast and freaky. So now look across the street. I see how they doing over there in this RV. I want an RV. Now I get an RV. That RV too slow. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we need to keep our minds on our own garage.
Yeah. And you got to think about that stuff before, what can I really afford? Like my mom, one of the things driving, I'll give my mom props, and I always do, but she always told me, you need to learn how to drive every kind of vehicle there is. So they used to laugh at me when I came in. I was forklift driving. I was, the 10 packs, the 2-ton, whatever you want to call it. Every type of vehicle, sticks and all that kind of stuff I could drive. And I found that served me well. But I said all this to say, like you were talking about the car hopping, this Ferrari, I can't drive a stick. That Porsche, it takes premium octane. I can't afford the gas that goes in it. I could put the gas in there, but it's not going to perform at peak. It's only going to go for so long before it starts deteriorating and breaking down that engine. I want the Lincoln Continental, but it's a gas guzzler. You know what I mean? That tank or whatever. And I can only go 20 miles before I'm empty again, and so finding and sitting down and really evaluating what you can afford before, what do I have to give? Can I spend $75? Y'all, I went to Scotland one time in England, and these leaders, I don't know why I just said this, but they, as leaders there, half a tank cost me $75 for regular unleaded gas. Oh, I'm flying right there. I'm layering on my clothes. I'm getting on this plane and I'm gonna fly next time. But anyway, but I'm just saying, I didn't realize that driving was going to be so expensive, much more expensive than flying there. Mm-hmm. Which that would have saved me so much money, because not only would I have saved time, I saved gas money, and I didn't drive my car the whole time I was there anyway, but I spent $225 on gas just getting there and getting back. So it's like, what you have to sometimes sit down and, is it worth the money that I have to spend? And people say, oh, the car is $10,000, but the true cost to own, a lot of people don't know that there's a true cost to own the vehicle, which includes the gas, the maintenance, how long that thing is going to go before it has to break down. Do you get 3,000 miles on that oil change, or do you get 10,000 miles on that oil change? And over the course of time, that $10,000 car could cost you $40,000, but you could have got the $25,000 car that would get you 30. I mean, that would only cost 30 in the long run.
There you go.
You have to find that that works for you.
Yeah.
And then you have to do the look, this is what I can get for my money. And then eventually I'll be able to save that 10 grand. I could put that as a down payment on something else, and I can upgrade at some point when I get there.
Exactly.
All those years to build. Sometimes that sacrifice, a little bit on the front end, it goes a long way in the back end. And that's what relationships as well. Some people, like mom put on there, I thought that was funny. Some people get this big old house, but you walk in and ain't no furniture.
See?
And I think she was talking about my house, because I had a house and I didn't have no furniture, and we sat on folding chairs.
About your house, you ain't gonna do that. But I mean, that's dope though. That makes a whole lot of sense. And then we need to look and see if what we want is within our budget. Listen, look, ladies and gentlemen, you have to be honest with yourself and know that your credit and your finances may not be set up that way to handle what you think you want. You get what I'm saying? Like, hey, you are kind of looking at other individuals' situation, and you want that, but you don't want the damn headache. If you think about it, hey, he over there, see, you want Jesse's girl, right? But you don't know she might be bipolar. You understand? So you only seeing the good part of the schizophrenic. You see, because we want that happiness, right? It's contagious, but we are not looking at what we have to A, offer, and B, what we're set up for, right? Why would you put yourself in a situation where you get you, and I'm talking to the fellas out there, listen, you get you, let's say, a Meg the Stallion, okay? Or let me see, anybody, you think of anybody that you like right now, okay, fellas? You want that, but ask yourself why. So, what type of headache do you think that's going to bring to you? Even for them ladies out there, hey ladies, I know y'all like the brothers who was it? Was it whoever he is, right? Whatever, you know, he's funny looking at me. But at the same time, what type of headache do you think that will bring to you? So we need to be cognizant of the things that we think we want. You may not be set up to even receive it and even deal with it, right? Because, and I know me, back in the day, you know, I thought that it was good to have a young lady or be with a young lady that looked a certain way, or that had a certain thing. However, once again in that relationship, I realized that was the biggest hell of my life, right? The maintenance, and financial and mental maintenance, especially if you got your own issues. Now you're dealing with somebody else's issues and you still ain't dealt with your own. You get what I'm saying? So you need to understand, what are you set up for? So it might be that that Lincoln Continental that can get you where you need to go. And listen, nice, smooth ride. Hey, watch that.
Fiat 500.
Hey, all right. Well, look, check it out. Look, it can be that, but watch this. Nice, smooth ride. Okay, not the it might be used, but hey, it already got the kinks out. You get what I'm saying? Listen, watch this. This vehicle done been through some places, and they know the roads, right? They don't have to act brand new in different situations. And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, and I know we're talking figuratively speaking, but there are individuals that can upgrade you. Keep that in mind. You ain't always the damn upgrader. Okay? Listen. Oh, hey, don't act like, you know, your stuff don't stink. You feel me? So there may be individuals, different vehicles that you A, can afford, and B, can turn you into a Porsche.
Yes.
Come on. You get what I'm saying? So you're looking at other people and what they got. How about you look at yourself, look at your situation, and see and ask, hey, how can we do this together? Because this is what I want as an example, but I don't want all of what the Joneses have. This part right here, I like that. How can we do that? What you think about that, Camille?
Yeah, you got to be willing. And I say that you don't want to stay at a 5 forever, you know, so you want to look to that 7 and you want to try to aspire to get there. You know, there's somebody who's going to help you to learn. And I was fortunate with that, that someone helped me to learn finances a lot earlier, you know, and it was a certain person. Oh, no, you can't have debt dealing with me at all. And I was like, what do you mean? People just have debt? Oh, no, not with me. So let me go ahead and help you. And he did. And I was in turn able to help a lot of people. And so, but they don't want to do the work. And like I said, we look at people and we, you know, girls' evergreen dreams, they want to marry a basketball player or actor or whatever, and they don't have to do anything. But I said, you know, for me, that you relinquish a lot of control over your life when you have to ask somebody for everything. You have no income coming in. They can, you know what I mean? Like, is this what I really want? People see the glitz and glamour, but they don't understand that those women don't have, and you stuck at home with kids and you cleaning and, you know, all this stuff. And that's it. You don't even have an income of your own sometimes.
Hey.
So is that really what I want? No, I would rather have somebody build with me. And then in my case, like I was talking about my house with no furniture, in that you know, relationship in that building, I was learning some things. So for me, it was important to house my children and to have beds for them to sleep on, right? My thing too is when I purchase something, I purchase it outright. So I buy things little bit by little bit. So I had the beds, then I bought a couch, then I had to buy a dining room set. And so that I wouldn't have any residual debt as a result of it. But that's part of the building. It's step by step by step. And I realized there have to be sacrifices, you know, but every day at the end of the day, right now, when I go home or if something was to happen, I don't have to leave any debt to my children, And so it's that forward thinking about what we do. And it's the same thing in relationships, that forward thinking. If somebody just has a lot of potential, but they ain't doing nothing, it's just potential. But if you see somebody trying and they're building and they're moving and, maybe I could get with this, you know what I mean? Because we can go places together. If you bring your this and I bring this, then we could just, do this together to alleviates. But excuse me, yes, we have to do the work. And build and do all of those things that it takes to make these relationships or whatever work for us, and stay out the Joneses' home. You don't know how much they paid and what they still paying on and all this and all that. Even in the military, we see these chiefs and we expect that they're going to get out and they're stressing over finding a job because they have done poorly in their finances. You go to these big old homes and these nice cars and everything like that, but they're still paying for it. And they're stressing out and all kinds of stuff because all those 30 years they didn't take to figure out how to really sustain and maintain without going in over their head to keep up with somebody else, the other chiefs who might have gotten it right. And they've built and they've saved and they've paid off those things one by one. But you over here chasing them. So now you left with all this because when you retired, you got that retirement check, but your debt far exceeds that on a monthly basis. Exactly. So we have to make sure that we're focusing on our own homes and building and not trying to be like the Joneses. Yeah. I don't want to be like the Joneses. I just want to be Camille Thomas.
Exactly. and you have to love who you are and know who you are. But ladies and gentlemen, if you guys did take the challenge, or not the challenge, but take the test, give us a call. Tell us what you learned, if you learned anything about yourself. And then since the last show, right, have you had conversations about your love language? And then to Camille's point, she made a great point about looking at other individuals as far as seeing what type of car they're driving and comparing yourself. We have to be, we have to watch out for that because that's bad business. All right. And keep in mind, you might see that nice car over there, but the tank might be empty. You feel me? You feel me? So I want you to think about your own tank. Think about your own love tank and how you can get that filled. And if you are familiar with the 5 love languages, this is a way that you can send love and receive love, but you have to know your primary love language. But again, comparing yourself to the Joneses, you're looking at things that is superficial, if you will, right? And all you know is the surface, but you don't know the underneath. For example, I made a post yesterday. I have a small garden in my backyard, and I had some peas, right? Finally got some peas, and I didn't know how long it was going to take, but when I saw them, I don't think you guys understand. I was so happy, but it took me a while. The reason why it took me a while is because me not having all the green, I didn't have a green thumb. I may have a green pinky, but not the green thumb. So when I'm looking for the things that I needed to create the garden, I put the wrong soil in. Okay, it was more for plants, not fruit, vegetables. You dig what I'm saying? But after planting, so I want you guys to understand this. After planting that seed in the wrong soil, I felt as though nature would take care of everything. Please follow me here. Mm-hmm. It's outside. It's the rain. Boom, boom. It's getting the sunlight. Wow, wow, wow. But I planted it in the wrong soil. You understand? It wasn't until I realized, wait a minute, silly. You're not going to grow this, right? You're not going to grow these peas or these jalapenos in this type of soil. So what are you waiting for? You get what I'm saying? So now, once I said, all right, let me change the soil. Now the roots can grow. You feel me? You might not see it. Look, you might not see it. You understand? But the roots have to grow deep and in the right soil. Yes. You understand what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen?
That's why only things certain plants can only thrive and grow in certain climates.
That's it.
That's why all plants aren't found on all continents and all areas. Right. The environment is not ripe for the growing.
And that's the key.
the vitamins aren't there, the things that it needs, all of those nutrients are not in every soil. I was surprised my daughter got a succulent. I thought I could just get plant soil, and I found they had succulent soil because they needed something else. And I was like, oh, so I gotta buy a whole nother one for, yes, if you want it to flourish, then that's what you have to do. So you have to, like you said, if you find out you planted in the wrong one, maybe you need to change the soil.
Exactly.
Change the soil.
So think about it, ladies and gentlemen, and listen, type down that, plant, hashtag plant right. Put that in there, hashtag plant right.
Yeah.
Because we need to know what we're doing. And you can't just put any seed in any soil. You understand? That's what we're trying to say. As far as keeping up with the Joneses, you don't know what they use for fertilizer. Do you get what I'm saying? You don't know what they did. So I go back to my original point. If you really want to know, humble yourself.
Yes.
First of all, humble yourself and understand what you don't know, and be willing to A, do research, and B, communicate with the Joneses.
Yes.
Okay. You don't have to compare yourself. Communicate. Say, hey, Derek, listen, just being 100. How did you grow them greens? Listen, I like greens. No, we all like greens. Listen,
I like greens.
Hey, get the green games up. Now, something wrong. I can only grow this mustard, but I like collard. I like them collard. Talk to them. You understand? Find out what they have done. And you might have all the pieces, but you need to put them together. Do you understand what I'm saying? To make things work. Humble yourself. Say, hey, I need help. It's okay. I don't know it all, right? And then get tired of running around in the circle. Get off of the hamster wheel. Do you guys dig what I'm trying to say? Get off of that. If you're tired of it, get off of it and find out what's going wrong. Not just what's going on, what's going wrong. And be willing to accept if it's something that you can change.
I was gonna say, I thought it interesting. I always look at different meanings and stuff like that, but I did a search on this Keeping Up with the Joneses and what the Bible says. This is not a religious platform or anything like that, but I thought it was interesting. And if I can, it was Ecclesiastes 4:4-7. I'm going to read it really quickly because even back then they were talking about keeping up with the Joneses. And to your point that you just said, I just want to read this. It says, and I saw all that all toil and all achievements spring from one person's envy of another. This too is meaningless, a chasing after the wind. Fools fold their hands and ruin themselves. Better one handful with tranquility than two handfuls with toil and chasing after the wind. Again, I saw something meaningless under the sun. There was a man all alone. He had neither son nor brother. There was no end to the toil, yet his eyes were not content with his wealth. For whom am I toiling, he asked, and why am I depriving myself of enjoyment? This too is meaningless, a miserable business. That's Ecclesiastes 4:4-7. Keeping up with the Joneses. Who am I really doing this for? This is meaningless. I'd rather have one handful of tranquility than two handfuls of this toil and chasing of the wind. Why do I continue? I don't have nothing. I have all this wealth that I can't even be content with because I keep chasing after what somebody else has.
Right.
It doesn't make sense. Why am I depriving myself of my own enjoyment and I'm settling for meaningless, miserable business? And I thought it was interesting that even the Bible talks about keeping up with the Joneses and that it is just not a good business to be in. Learn to be content within. Happiness is an inside job. Look at all the things that you have right in front of you. All of the wealth that you have. Once you start, look, it's not about what they have. It's about what I'm doing with what I have and how this brings me joy, or finding what that lack is, what is causing me to do all of these things. Then I can enjoy the fruits of my own labor, and not put that expectation on somebody else, and they can also, we can reap the benefits of figuring out who we are, doing what we need to do in our own house, our own yards, and then reaping the benefits of our wealth. But I just thought it was interesting. That was something I had ran across, looking up, what does it say? That's what I always do. And it was there, that even back then.
And you know what? And I love that. I love that. And ladies and gentlemen, no matter where you get your information, okay, like you said, this isn't a spiritual or religious platform. However, we're still talking about information that can connect with us. So whatever it is, be willing to do that. And to the point, even though this is in the good book, there's nothing new under the sun. Okay, there's nothing new under the sun. So find out. And so this, what I'm trying to say is this: you are not the only one that's going through this or have. You understand what I'm saying? So when it goes back to trying to get off that hamster wheel, right? Like Pink is talking about, when you want to get off that hamster wheel, connect with individuals that's off of it.
Yes.
Hold on. See, so listen, you don't want to connect with folks that's going crazy like you. You get what I'm saying? You want to connect with individuals that's actually moving along in life. And don't get me wrong, it's not an easy path. It's not straight path with no trees and nothing in the way, like boom, you got it and that's all you got to do. No, you will be tested. But I would rather, and this goes back to even the military, I would rather connect with a senior NCO or senior officer that's been through something than individuals that haven't. And meaning that, yeah, they have the good stuff or whatever, you know, house look all nice or whatever the case it is, but they weren't really tested. And I know that what I want out of life is not going to be easy. So I need mentors or counselors, but that has been through something that can help me go through. You get what I'm saying? Because what would happen is if we get someone that haven't A, been through it, or B, currently going through it, y'all can't just, you know, cheerlead yourself out of a jacked up situation. If you get what I'm trying to say. So even like if you think about individuals that are overcoming being an alcoholic, right? AA meetings and things of that nature, they will have a sponsor, if you will. That sponsor, true, they are going through as well, but they're further along in their steps than you. All right, for a reason. So you need that type of support, but just make sure you realize where your support is coming from and intentions.
Yes.
Because, and I'm gonna leave on this right here. Watch this. Some people may be, hey, listen, you might be the Joneses to other folk. Yeah. So if you the Joneses and I want what you got, I might just be there to say, you know what, you right, he ain't about nothing. He ain't about nothing. And in my mind, I'm saying, oh yeah, I want him though. Go ahead. Yeah, he ain't nothing. Wait, you still with that fool? You still with that fool? Girl, you need to stop being crazy because you know he ain't about nothing. Soon as you go. Now, that's Mrs. Jones in your face. You get what I'm saying? What you think?
I mean, that's true. That's like, what was it, Sweetie, when she got her little car, whatever, and she was dancing and everybody, all the girls was like, oh, he corny, he this and that. And she was like, but y'all be the same ones calling him corny now. But the moment I would have stepped out the picture, y'all be the same ones trying to hit his inbox or whatever. You know, we tear down those things that we like. We pick it apart because we don't feel like we deserve it, or, you know, what is it about me that I can't get that, or we're lacking something in our own lives or whatever. So we want to pick that thing apart. But given the opportunity, Come on. 2 seconds later, you moving in, you don't know what it took to build that. And you don't know what that, goes on in the background. But, with them too, is he learning her love language? If that's what they like to do and they like to laugh and that's quality time, and he's serving her in that way, it's going to be a good relationship. See? She's feeling full. She's feeling love. She's feeling like, she's appreciated and valued. And I'm sure she does the same thing for him, or else he wouldn't be doing all that stuff that he's doing for her. Let them be. Find your own Mr. Jones or Mr. Smith or Mr. Washington or whoever he may be, and build, And like you said, don't keep up with the Joneses. Sit down, have a conversation, and learn from the Joneses. Learn what it takes. Learn the things that they've gone through to get where they are. They probably can give you a few tips, or they can give you a few tips. This is what's really going on. You know, we don't want people to know X, Y, and Z, but my house is falling down, and you don't want this. Trust me, you don't want this, because this is a bigger burden than even I want to bear. You know, but we got it. So I don't know how people gonna feel. So we keep putting up this thing. Don't do that. And there's some things that I tell people too. You don't want that. Trust me, you don't want that. Don't go there. Don't go there.
Right. And we got the t-shirt. And so another thing too, ladies and gentlemen, we need to be cognizant of what we are portraying.
Yes.
Because listen, you might have went through some storms, right? You might have been through all types of up and downs in your relationship. However, you can also attract those individuals that are envious of your relationship, and you open up doors for that sabotage. Yes. You get what I'm saying? You will open up those doors for sabotage. So how do you conduct yourself? A, in public, and B, not in public, even on social media, right? Do you open yourself up to that stuff? But to the point, if you are, hey, look, my boo this is my boo, blah, blah, blah. Look, we so happy, blah, 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 blah. Individuals, you know what? It's like gnats, okay? Individuals that don't have the light inside of them, they're going to gravitate to the light somewhere else. And if you keep showing that type of light, it's going to attract people, but not everybody that's attracted to that light have the same intentions of being to celebrate you and to help encourage you. They want it. They're attracted to that light because they want it, and they want any piece of it. You get what I'm saying? So we need to be conscious of the energy that we put out there, because we may be putting it out there and attracting a certain type of energy and envy that other Joneses want to sabotage. You get what I'm saying? So ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about the 5 love languages, understanding yours and staying out of other folks' businesses, the Joneses, right? Because whatever they got going on is their business. And listen, let's keep it 100. If they freaky and you ain't with a freak, you can't turn a freak into a freak. She had to already be there. First of all, part of it. But then some of it, you just have to learn, hey, let's try this. Okay, nope, that one don't work. Ain't gonna go there no more until you ready. Okay, we ease into it when you ready. But you don't want to compare yourself to the Joneses. So, but now we're talking about looking at individuals and expecting our life, right? Expecting our life to be like theirs because we're attracted to it, and or if we're in a specific place in space in our relationship, putting off that energy that everything is all good, and it attracts individuals to our relationship that want to see us fail. So that's what we're on right now. What you think about that, Camille?
I mean, it's true, but you'll have haters everywhere. You'll have, no matter where you climb, where you go, you know, and I had to realize that my energy is going to, as long as it's positive, you know, I want people to tell me when my energy is off, but it's going to attract both good and bad. I have to have some discernment, and I have to surround myself with people who can see others for me when I can't see them for, you know, myself, that will say, oh no, we need to put down this screen so the bugs can't get in, or, oh, maybe you're outside and that light is attracting whatever, we need to bring you on inside, you know, where the gnats cannot, you know, bug you or can't do all these things. So, but no matter what, anytime you're climbing the success ladder, whether it's in your relationship, in your family, in your job, or whatever, there are people that are always seeking to replace you by sabotage, by whatever it is, who want what you have. And so you just have to be conscious of that. But, you know, when we just take care of our own, we mind our own business, we water the grass that we have, the seeds are the same. We just have to put in the work to get it to grow. When we do all of those things, we'll find our own contentment in us, and we will not have to continue to try to keep up with the Joneses that and can't even keep up with themselves. You know? So water your own grass, be who you are, place good people around you who tell you the truth about who you are and who can give you honest feedback. And, you know, I think relationships, people, and everything will grow, and learning your partner for who they are, not placing an unreasonable expectation on them as to what you want them to be. So
absolutely. So look, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed this sanity check, and don't forget, make sure that you go to sanitycheck 2 Ks and the S, right, on Facebook. That's our platform together. We do love you. Welcome, everyone. And we will see you next week. Same time, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time in the morning. Stay positive, stay sane, and we love you. All right?
Love you. Bye. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.